Daniel. Hey, it's great to be together here. I'm really glad that you could join us on the podcast this morning, all the way from San Antonio, Texas. So thanks for joining us.
hmm No, thank you. I know it was a mission to get me on, but I'm blessed to be here. So,
Oh, well, hey, you're a busy man out there doing some great things for the community, and truly appreciate your time. I know it's real valuable. And just by way of a official introduction, Daniel Martinez with LGI Homes, and three times sales master. I mean, that's hot.
hmm
That's
it's
really
tough.
cool. It's a
Yes,
lot of work,
back
isn't
to
it?
back to back. Oh yeah, a lot of work, a lot of tears, a lot of sweat, a lot of time, a lot of missed family events. But I chose this road, so well, I didn't, but the Lord paved it for me. He's like, "Here, walk it." So,
Sure, sure. Here's the path, and gave you some good direction, and you followed it.
oh
That's
yes.
amazing. Well, tell me a little bit. What makes LGI Homes unique? What should we know about LGI Homes?
Well, like I said, they're a public trademark company, so our numbers are always out so the world can see. We're a very transparent company where we let the world know this is what we do, this is how we do it, and we've been doing it since 2003. Since we started in a little town outside of Houston called Conroe. Um, so we actually are a system-based company. So everything from answering the phone to when somebody walks through the door, even once they get the keys to their home, there's always a process. Because we don't like to confuse the buyers. And that's what a lot of builders tend to do. And
Hmm.
me as a consumer as well, when I bought my first home, I bought from a builder, and it was very confusing. And sometimes I kind of we're the reason why folks don't buy homes. People don't see that. But we
Interesting.
confuse the buyer, we keep them going here, go there, left, right, and by the time they know, they're like, what, this ain't for me.
They're
And they
over
just
it.
walk out the door
Yeah.
and they're, yes.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I know a lot of people too that have gone through the home buying process, had a terrible experience, and then they end up in the field because now they want to help other people avoid that bad experience.
Correct,
Maybe they become a
correct.
realtor or lender, whatever it may be, and they're like, I am never going to let somebody else go through what I went through.
Very.
Well, tell us a little bit. The whole purpose of this particular podcast and the title of it actually is the mindset of a champion.
hmm
And what caught my attention on social media was your champion mindset and all the things you've been accomplishing. We talked about the three times sales master and all the work that must go into that. But have you always been in real estate, or how'd you get into it?
No, I've always been in that sales mode. I was selling automobiles in 2013. And ever since then, when I was working at Wells Fargo before that, I was a online rep, customer service rep. So when folks would call in, they forgot their password, there'd be like a little green money bag blinking on their account.
Yeah.
And those are options for like lines of credit, and I had to present those. So I
Hmm.
would present it and then transfer it over to a live representative. But I was like, man, what's going on that other side of that phone
Right.
call? So everybody told me, man, you have a great mouthpiece on you. And I'm like,
Sure.
wow, okay.
Moneymaker.
So yes, so I was the top rep there at Wells Fargo for the most warm calls, which meaning I'll transfer a warm client, present them an option, how to save money, and to even maximize any profit, any profitability, and then transfer it over to a live rep. But then I got into the car business, and then it was really tough. I wouldn't say tough because Wells Fargo only making $3,000 a month
Right.
was really tough, especially with the newborn and with your bills backed up. I just had to make a change, and then I stumbled onto the car business, and then I think September of 2014, I was in training for a whole week. And then the last 3 weeks, I finished off with like 29 cars I sold. And that was my first time ever selling cars. So yeah,
Incredible.
I think that month I made like $20,000. So I was like, hey, I like this.
Like
So yeah,
7 months worth of Wells
Wells
Fargo work
Fargo. And then from there transitioned to real estate in 29 beginning of 2019 and haven't looked back.
just before the pandemic. So
Hmm
that's an interesting dynamic. Here you go from the cars, helping people with that, and now you move into real estate. And so tell us a little bit about that the mindset that you had that to take you into real estate, and then man, a pandemic hits. What type of a mindset have you had to have to pivot and make adjustments even during this time?
A lot of self-talk, a lot of self-talk. You can't deposit excuses.
Oh, that's
So at
good.
the end of the day, yeah. So at the end of the day, when every single time, well, obviously when I started, I couldn't sell a home until January, February, March, to the end, like the beginning of March, because this community wasn't established. So I was training for 3 months, and I wasn't collecting no checks. It's all commission based. But we had a grand opening, and I knew that was my ticket. And that Saturday, I sold 21 houses that Saturday.
Wow, in one day.
On one weekend. Yeah, Saturday and
One,
Sunday.
that's unbelievable.
So I told myself, I'm like, you know what? The best way to help some of this pain and agony that I'm going through with financials and, how to sell my TVs and how to pawn my daughter's James Avery bracelet to have some kind of money to make ends meet
Mhm.
was to crush that grand opening that LGI does for sales reps so they can have a fast start. Um, but at the end of the day, I'm waking up every morning and looking myself in the mirror and like, hey, I'm gonna make this happen. There's no way of me failing. And my first year, what wasn't my first year, it was only my first 8 months online. I closed 37 homes as a rookie. And then after that, sales master back to back to back. And I told my boss too, he goes, well, you missed sales master your first unofficial year, but I was like, you're only online for 8 months though. If I was there for the whole year, I would have hit sales master.
Wow.
But then last year I ruptured my Achilles, so I was out for 2 months.
Oh, whoa.
So, so I always tell my boss, I did not miss hitting sales master. I just ran out of time. That's
There you
all it
go.
is.
That's a good point. And that's
Mhm.
I mean, that's phenomenal to hear, how you just dove right into it. And, I've talked to other champions as well, like yourself. And one thing that they always mention to me is, and you mentioned waking up each day the way you do, looking at yourself in the mirror. And one mentioned that they wake up very intentional every day
With the
and
purpose.
with a purpose, and they know their why.
Mhm.
Maybe I can just ask you, what is your why? Why do you do what you do?
Well, I fight for my last name and I work to leave a legacy. Like my legacy is my kids.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, when I take my last breath here on earth, I want to make sure that their father did everything they could possibly do to keep them happy. Because, and I can't say my mom didn't do much for me, but she was a single mom and raising two boys. She had to play both. She had to play both parts.
yeah, two
The
hats.
father. So I think I got a lot from her of never giving up, always finding a way. Her why was us, and I think that kind of vibrated to me. And hey, you know what? Your why is your kids and your wife. Happy wife, happy life, right?
Absolutely.
So pressure, yeah, pressure is a privilege, and I put that pressure on myself every day.
Yeah, that's well said. That's why we do what we do, is to take care of our loved ones, and anything we have left over after our
Hmm
loved ones, we obviously we share and we give to the community. And what speaking of community, what communities do you focus on, or that you serve primarily?
Well, with LGI, you can't cross sell. So I can only sell in this community. And that's why they make a sales master a very big title here in LGI. And I see some folks like Lenar, KB, DR Horn, they can cross sell
Hmm.
all they want, and they sell 30 homes or 40 homes barely. I'm like, dang, if I could cross sell, I'll sell 100 homes a year.
Right.
But yeah, so I only serve in this community to the southwest side of San Antonio. It's still in the San Antonio market. It's right next to Texas A&M of San Antonio.
Yeah.
Our community backs up to the Medina River. We have access to 511 acres of land. We're about 18 minutes away from downtown and about minutes away from Lackland Air Force Base.
Hmm.
So our community is a prime community. We are a master plan community. So we intend on having more than three phases.
That's amazing. Now, do you find yourself serving a lot of veterans as well?
Yes, more than I want to say 60 to 70% of our homeowners are military affiliated. They're veterans, disabled, public servants, teachers, doctors, and a lot of them are also from Toyota because right next door to me, literally like across the street, is the Toyota manufacturer where they make the Sequoia
Oh,
and they make the Tundra. So there's over 5,000 employees there as well.
wow. So that's why I can see where your service that you're providing is just so timely and helping.
Mhm.
And I was speaking to another realtor actually that was from the San Antonio area, and she was mentioning that contrary to what you may hear or whatever,
Mhm.
San Antonio area has plenty of inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're
Very.
finding? Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely say that. I know, I'm not gonna say the builder, but we just bought out a builder because, they can't sell. So we're like, we can do it. We're trained professionals. We are not new home consultants. We are sales people. That's the difference between a realtor, a new home sales consultant, or a salesperson. We're not caterers. I'm a closer. Like if you walk through that door and you qualify, you're gonna leave with the key. That's that's just the way it is. That's the way I'm bred. Even before I came to LGI, like somebody can walk in here and I already know their credit score. I already know what DTI they have. It's just the way my mind works. Like I can profile buyer, right? Just by looking at them, by the way they walk, talk, and just me just having a simple conversation with them at the table, and then just letting me know what's going on, where are they coming from, not as an origin, but what's their current living situation right now. And they always, they make excuses sometimes. Oh, it's too far. And I tell them far from what? They're like, oh, from this. I'm okay, great. Well, I put everything in perspective. Look what's around this area. You can't just sit there and be comfortable in that area where there's been 9, 10 shootings a week. You have
Right.
to get out of that. Yeah, you have to get out of that living situation and put your family into a better situation. I've done it. You can do it. We all both breathe the same air. We all got 10 fingers. If you're willing to put in the work, I'm willing to guide you there. And that's my goal.
Wow, I love that. And you spoke about a word, comfortable, and I can see how you really work hard to make people that walk through your door very comfortable, understanding the process,
Mm-hmm.
understanding, what the cost is of not taking a leap of faith and moving into perhaps a better area. Some people are just
Correct.
afraid of that stuff, right? They're afraid
Correct.
of what they don't know. And
Mm-hmm.
what a great tool you're using to help build people's confidence that way.
Oh, yes. Because I can put myself in their seat. And I think once you put yourself in their seat, they're like, okay, he's done this before. And obviously the law of attraction, right? If
Right.
you've done it, they're gonna get attracted to it as well. And I just incorporate my way because I tell them, hey, like I've been in your seat. I've been very scared, to take like you just said right now, a leap of faith for that change. But if you don't do it now, it could kill you at the end of the day. Not physically, but
Yeah.
mentally. You won't be able to sleep at night. Once you go to the grave, and you have to lay those spirits to bed. and they're not gonna let you sleep. They're not gonna let you rest in peace. So you have to leave it all out here in the real world because when you go into the next life, you don't want those regrets and you going with you.
Yeah, that's well said. And some people have asked, is this a business where your spouse could be a part of it? You can work together. How would you answer that?
I We do work together. We have a closing here, hopefully at the end of this month. My wife's a realtor here at Rail Brokerage. So she recently transitioned from another brokerage, and then she went to this one. But yeah, we do deals together as well, and we feed off each other. I went with her to Houston last week on Thursday, and I went to DR Horton, went to MI, and went to Starlight. And most of those reps are not like me. And she tells me they're just on their phone. They're just here, go look at the houses. I'm like, okay, cool. So
Yeah.
we go look at the houses. We ask them, hey, like, what schools are around here? They don't even know. Like
Wow.
I can tell them, I can tell them where the best taco stand is around my area. I know where the daycare is at. I know where the banks are at. I know where the nearest grocery store is at. So to see that and what I put out in the world, she even says it all the time. There's nobody like LGI. There's nobody because at the end of the day, she can sit back like a fly on the wall and watch LGI go to work, and we make her money at the end of the day. So yeah, we do work together. It is a team thing, so we do work together to help out each other. And at the end of the day, it's just putting those keys in someone else's hands, which is a very life changing opportunity.
That's amazing. It's the reason why I bring that up is because before our podcast here, I have seen the both of you in action on social media together, promoting each other,
Hmm.
working together, and it's just a beautiful thing to see
Thank you.
that. Absolutely. And it's two champion putting their minds together
Hmm.
for a purpose, for a cause, for helping other families to be successful like yours. So it's
I
noticed, and
appreciate
it's
it.
yeah, it's really a joy to see that. Um, one other question, speaking of social media, can you speak to the power of using social media today in your business?
I would say it's very powerful. I would say it's very powerful. Number one, because of the fact that you make this payment every day, every month. Why not utilize it? Millionaires have so many ways of making money and you know keeping that that money base of being a millionaire. So I wouldn't say I call myself the middle class. I'm okay with that, but at the end of the day, I'm able to use the power of social media where you have access to billions of people.
Yeah,
And it just takes that one video to go viral, and you can be sitting on the other side, on a yacht now. Just me thinking that one day it could happen.
absolutely.
Um, I would definitely, but at the end of the day, you got to be honest with yourself. Because if you can't be honest with yourself, then who can you truly be honest with? Because what people see on my social media, that's what they get. I'm not gonna be some uptight salesperson. I'm not gonna do this and be I'm that and this. No, I'm just myself, and I think that's why people fall in love with me, and
Very
they
authentic.
trust my word.
Yeah,
Very, very authentic. Because I know where I come from. I know my background. I know who raised me, and I know who I surround myself around. That's why I have very little to no friends. Like I have acquaintances, I meet
sure.
you here and there, but do I get invited to birthday parties? No. Do I get invited to social events? A lot, but I'm never there. You
Yeah. You're
know,
grinding.
so
You're working for your
I'm
family,
always working.
Yeah.
While everybody's at the club, I'm still here thinking about my next sell. That's me. So,
That's the difference between a champion and wannabes, those that are saying,
hmm,
"Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that," but are they putting in the work? No.
correct. Hmm.
So that's encouraging to see how you do that. And I just have one last question for you.
Let's go
Um,
in.
what advice would you have for other small business owners, maybe your fellow realtors even, to be successful in 2024 and beyond?
Ooh,
Come on,
sometimes,
huh?
no, that's a deep question.
Yeah, it is.
No, because it comes with a lot. It's a simple question, but it comes with a lot because in my mind, sometimes you need to risk it all for a dream that you can only see.
Mm,
The mind is the most powerful thing in this world. So me getting up on a Saturday mm, morning at 1 a.m. to get here at my office at 1:30 to get the overnight leads and to get the first walk-in. I'm doing things that I'm literally doing things that are that other people don't want to do. Like I'm putting my mind, my body through something that
yeah.
I don't want to do. So how can you beat somebody that is putting themselves through something that they don't want to do? Like that's my mindset. Like I'm gonna make 1,000 calls today. I'm gonna at least reach 10 people. My goal is to sell a house today because a house today keeps my boss away, right? So
I like that.
thank you. So I think me personally is just me doing things that I don't want to do. Um, be that person, be that person that's gonna get up in the first person at the office, last person at the office. Don't make 100 calls, make 500 calls. If you don't reach the 500, you'll do a lot more than you were going to do at 100. Don't cap yourself. And like I said, risk it all. Like I said, risk it all for a dream that only you can see. That the mind is the most powerful thing that you have right now, and it's the mind is the worst thing you can waste. Don't just live in this world. You got to be existing. You got to make an impact on people. You got to leave something here because once you're gone, the only thing that stays here is your last name, your name. And I want to make sure that I've touched and helped as many people as I can possible once my time is here on this earth.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I heard someone tell me the other day, they're not here just to survive. They're here to thrive.
I
And
love that.
right, right. And what you've provided this morning, this afternoon for you, Daniel.
Yeah.
Truly appreciate your time. I think these words in the last 15 20 minutes or so are just so impactful for people. Sometimes we have to step out of the daily grind and go. We have to think
hmm
about it. We have to verbalize it, what we do, why we do it, and more importantly, this is going to help other people. Those that want to be sales masters in their craft, they want to be champions in their field.
hmm
Well, listening to this podcast will help them, and it'll encourage them to not give up when it's easy to give up, really.
Oh yeah, I hope so. Yeah, it's easy to give up. There's a lot more people that give up. That's where you got to step in and just kind of stand above the crowd and do those things that they don't want to do. And that will separate you at the end of the day. And you can go to sleep at night knowing that you won the day. Just win the day. That's
There you
all you
go.
got to do. Don't look 2 days before. Just win today. All you got to do. Well, get up, make your bed, take your kids to school, or if you don't have kids, just wake up, do your things. So when you come home, you can come home to a clean home. At least that's a win in my book that
Oh
you've
yeah.
accomplished something. So
Yeah, I love that. And one acronym for or I guess the words for the acronym WIN, WIN, what's important now?
I
And
like
when
that.
you think of that, right, it's like there's a million things we got to do, but I usually write it down, and this is the blank
hmm
side. I have another side of a sheet of things I need to do, but then I go through that and say, okay, well, what's important now? These other things
hmm
are important this week, but what's important today,
Now,
right?
correct,
And I look at it
correct.
another way too, and I encourage my team to do this each week. But we write down, what is your perfect day? What does your perfect week look like, leading into your perfect month and beyond? And each day, it might be call 5 to 10 of our realtor partners. How you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Checking in. You have some scenarios. Can we help you? You need help at your open house this weekend, whatever it may be. And calling past clients that day,
Mm-hmm.
setting up appointments, whatever it is. And, it's things like that that help us be more intentional, help us be more like champions that we really are.
Effective. Yeah, just show up. If you don't want to show up, just still show up, and just refuse to be average. Everybody's average, but it's those who actually just show up. And like you said, what's important now, they win the day and they took advantage of every single opportunity. Because if you don't show up, how you know that you don't have, you're never going to see what the opportunity is behind that door, right? So
Yeah.
just show up, work hard, stay focused, laser focused at that, and have a big why, like you said earlier.
I love it. Well, Daniel, thank you so much for joining us today. And I
Appreciate
know
you.
I threw it out there to you before, but I'd love to get you and your wife together on our other podcast series, Power Couples in Real Estate. I think
Most
that would be
definitely.
super fun and just a really great testimonial to others out there who maybe aren't sure, should I work with my spouse or what's that like,
Yes, yes. Well, at the end of the day, they always say behind every great man's a great woman,
Yeah.
but I never put my wife behind me. She's right next to me.
Ooh,
So
I
I
love that.
think, thank you. Yeah, she's my biggest fan. She's my biggest supporter. And if you don't have a spouse that way, like if your other significant other isn't your biggest fan, yeah, you need to cut her or she needs to cut you or
Yeah.
whatever the case may be, man. Because if you don't have that support at home, then you're never gonna walk through your office doors feeling like a champion or feeling like I'm motivated. So
Yeah.
I always walk in here with my chest held high, my head up, and I
Yeah.
know that I can work here knowing that my wife has the household good to go.
Yeah, that's wonderful. You can see in the back over here, that's
I
that's
saw
my
that. I
wife.
saw that.
That's Jennifer there. And
Nice.
she's by my
Y'all
side
look great.
constantly. Oh, thank you. Thank
Amen.
you.
Most definitely.
Well,
Most
I'll let
definitely.
you get back to the grind to help your family and the
I
community, and
appreciate it.
we'll be back in touch soon, my friend.
Yes. Have a blessed day.
Thank you.